Hello, everyone, and welcome to Consciousness is Sexy. My name is Patty Alfonso, and I have a super special guest today. Her name is Zah Haricharan. I do want to start off by telling you that this is a pre-recorded show. At this very moment, I'm actually in Dubai, and Zah is in Fiji. So, because we weren't really sure about the internet capabilities, we figured we would do a pre-record, and I'm super excited to have her on this show. We're going to be talking about a really cool, I'm going to say it's a tool in Access Consciousness called Never Quit, Never Give Up, and Never Give In. So Zal, why don't you take a minute and introduce yourself and tell our viewers who you are and a little bit about, what we're going to be playing with today.
Thanks, Patty. Hi, everyone. I'm Zah. I am the creator of Create Magic and the co-creator of Practical Magic with Patty Alfonso. So I'm also a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness. I just love the tools and the processes, and they've made such a massive difference to my living and who I be that I just love sharing them. So yeah, my next Zoom class is coming up called Never Give Up, Never Give In, Never Quit. And that's what Patty and I are going to be talking about today here. It's basically about the different areas of our lives that we judge as a limitation or as a wrongness. And, what if we could change that point of view and that perspective 180 degrees and look at it rather like a gift and a possibility. So, I used to always think that I was a walking, talking, thinking disaster. I could never get anything right. I was always getting things wrong. It was just Judgment City. And recently I just became aware that I do keep choosing to never give up, never give in, and never quit. And when I started to look at that, lots of different things in my reality started to shift and change. I just had a different perspective on, on money, on my body, on consciousness itself, on friendships that I had, just so many different things. So again, the premise of the call is, that's one part of our life. There's so many other areas of our lives, like big areas like business and family, relationships, sex, bodies, all of that, we can start to look at to flip 180 degrees and have a different perspective on it. And then there's also everyday living, everything, God.
Zah, actually, can I interrupt you for a second? Because there's a couple
Yes.
of things that you're saying that I would like a little bit more information on. And one thing is that thing about flipping it 180 degrees. And I also one of the reasons why I was so excited to bring Zah on the show and to talk about this with her is because if you guys remember a few weeks ago, I did a show where I talked about wanting to die. And I talked about, how that was showing up in my life and what was going on. And I think I spoke to Zah a couple of days after that, and we had a conversation about that particular energy that shows up, and then using this tool like never quitting, never giving up, and never stopping. And she says to me the other day, she's like, even in that moment, Patty, you still kept going. You still kept choosing and you were still creating. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's what that energy was, that I hadn't really kind of put words to it. So can you talk about what that experience was like for you in that place of like, everything just kind of sucks right now? And then talk about specifically that tool about turning it 180 degrees. That isn't something that I've covered on the show before. So what is that? How do you use that tool? And what do you do with it?
Okay. So my awesome experience with never giving up, never giving in, never quitting was, I went through this like a week to 10-day period not that long ago of I made a big choice about something, and then like I knew it was the correct choice for me. It was a light choice and I knew it would work for me. However, it didn't work in this reality.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went into Judgment City. I was in bed for like a week. I watched TV. I didn't even have a shower for like a week. I'm going to put it out there. I
We all
just
have those
couldn't.
moments.
I was drinking a lot. I just couldn't be bothered with anything. And I kind of indulged in that whole I'm useless, I'm wrong, I can't get anything right kind of energy. And, I did my best not to judge myself, although lots of judgments came up and I said, oh, fuck, I couldn't even be bothered dealing with you, you know. So I did get to a point where I just went, oh my God, I cannot drink anymore. So I went, okay, I'll just lie here. So for, the next 24 hours, I just lied there watching TV and just not even stepping outside. Um, and the next morning I woke up and I'm like, oh, I really feel like a shower. I'm sure my unit was thanking me for having a shower. So I got up, had a shower, and, I started to look at that last 7 to 10 days and I'm like, oh, it got a little bit ugly there for a while. It was like pretty full on. It was horrid. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I went, who am I today and what grand and glorious adventures am I going to have? And then that's when I kind of everything shifted and changed. And I'm like, I sat down on my bed and I'm like, oh, okay, so I didn't kill myself, tick. I'm choosing something different today, tick. And then I think I got on a Skype with someone and my Skype actually says never give up, never give in, never quit. And that's when it kind of connected with me that, oh, okay, so I'm not a total disaster. I'm still alive on the planet. I'm still choosing consciousness. I'm still breathing. It's like, okay. And that put just a whole different light on so many things. And it
Yeah.
kind of gave
I'm
it to
sorry.
me to keep going.
Yeah. So that piece of consciousness includes everything and judges nothing, even when you're having a really crappy 10 days, even when you haven't showered or you're just drinking it away for a few days, or consciousness includes everything and judges nothing. And that space of having allowance for wherever you are in these 10 seconds and like, okay, this is what I'm choosing right now. I'm gonna lay here and just watch TV for a few days and let's see what that creates. I mean, every choice creates something. And even
Exactly.
in, you choosing to just lay around for 10 days after that big choice that you made, that created something different in your universe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, we all ask, like, we're always asking for more and greater. And then sometimes when it shows up, it's like, oh no, I'm not ready for it. No, can you come back tomorrow? That's kind of what it felt like. So when so being that energy of never giving up, never giving in, and flipping things 180 degrees, I looked at that as well. And I'm like, okay, so it's almost like what's the opposite of that? So rather than limitation and wrongness, it's like gift and possibility. So it's like all access comes down to the question, asking questions. It's like, so, okay, if I'm not a walking, talking disaster, if I flip that, what would that be? What's the gift in that? Oh, well, I keep going. Like I'm still alive. What's the possibility here? The possibility is that I have another day to create something new, to be and do things different so that I don't go down that same track again. I change tracks,
Mm-hmm.
just create a different reality. It's
Yeah.
just about asking questions. It's like, you miss the bus to work. Oh, okay. What's the gift in this? Okay. I've been asking for more exercise. All right. Start walking. It's just little
It
things like
never
that.
shows up the way you think it will.
Exactly. Exactly. So again, that's the entire premise of the call, is that, even the little things in your life, um, that if you can just turn those, like, your kids are annoying. Okay, well, what's the gift in this? Is there something that you're aware of that has to be changed? What is that? What's the possibility of changing that? There's just a different way that we can look at things, and that's what this is about.
Totally. And I really do. I like that tool of turning it 180 degrees. When I was having my, 10 days of I want to die and I don't want to be here anymore. And I received facilitation from a friend of mine. She had asked me to just perceive the energy of all of that. And she said, okay, so perceive the one molecule of all of that energy and all of that intensity that you can change right now, and literally shift it 180 degrees. And that's all I did. Where's my camera? Here. Wait, here. That's what I did. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, so there's that one molecule. And I just started doing this, shifted 180 degrees, and then shifted again, and then shifted again. I mean, we are energetic beings and we have those capacity. We just weren't really taught how to use them. So for anyone
Exactly.
that's watching, now and in the future, if you find yourself in a situation and there's all of this energy coming up, just ask, okay, what's the one molecule that I can change here? And then literally do that. And that tool actually was a huge contribution. I felt much better first at the end of the conversation, and I've continued to use that tool again.